Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leanna. Today I'm doing the first get ready with me that I've done since basically the start of the year. There's a lot going on right now. So I figured that now was a really good time to sit down and just chat about things. Oh boy. So today is June 12th, in case you don't know. It won't be going up today, but it will probably go up on Monday. So I probably won't mention products I'm using. I'll just leave them down below in the description box. First thing is first, my Pride tutorial went up yesterday, and I lost quite a few subscribers over that, which ordinarily I'm not bothered by, but because it was over that particular video, it's kind of disappointing, I should say, because that shows me that some of my audience is not as open-hearted and open-minded as what I thought. So, yeah, when you post a video like that, it kind of shows you who your audience is. And so far I've lost about 8 subscribers, which is a huge loss for one video on a channel my size. And yeah, that's just like, oh, so some of you are not so accepting. So that was kind of like, that's not so nice. And to go along with that, I received my first hate comment, I guess you could call it, which didn't even show up in the comments of that video. It showed up in my discussion section, which I didn't even know was a thing that existed. And it was from a guy named Keith Erickson. And Keith told me that, no offense, but you were so much prettier before you had boy hair. And are you still an SJW? Sad. Well, first of all, nobody starts a sentence with no offense unless offense is intended, Keith. So offense was clearly intended there. Offense was not taken because I know what my hair looks like. It's called a Pixi cut, for your information. And I've had this since 2011. And before that, in high school, I also had short hair. So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, Keith. I've had short hair for many, many years. I've had it certainly since starting this channel. So yeah, the boy hair, I've been rocking the boy hair for a long time. And yeah, if it bothers you, I'm not even sure why you started watching this channel. If indeed you did watch, you probably just saw the Pride tutorial, clicked on, said, oh, she's butch, and left. So there's that. As for being an SJW, well, if you don't know what that means, that's social justice warrior. I myself had to look that up some time ago after seeing that term like everywhere. I wasn't sure what it meant. And after I looked it up, I don't think that's what I am, but I can see how some people would think that, if only because I speak up on topics that I think need to be spoken up about. I'm not offended by everything by any means. SJW has a negative connotation to it because there are groups of people out there who are offended by every little thing, and they will tell you. I'm not one of those people. If there is something that is genuinely offensive, then yes, I will say so. This kind of goes into my next topic. Kat Von D. Kat Von D recently came out as an anti-vaxxer. Also very openly vegan, very oppressed. She's so oppressed, yeah. That's like as hard as me being openly gluten-free. It's very difficult. I am made fun of all the time. No, I'm not actually. Um, yeah, I thought that part of her post was ridiculous, but onto the anti-vaxxing thing. I have strong feelings. I say as I'm holding her hand mirror, but I've talked about this a little bit on Instagram. I own a lot of her products. I own 3 palettes, 2 concealers, this hand mirror, a small powder, and something like 3 or 4 lipsticks. I can't distance myself from her. However, I am very pro-vaccine. Very, very strongly pro-vaccine. I was always getting sick as a kid. And when I got sick as a kid, I was sicker than anybody else in my class. I would be off for weeks at a time. That's basically the first thing that made it pretty clear that there was something not quite right in my body. And nowadays, if I get sick, I basically end up in the hospital. So you can imagine that when I hear that somebody doesn't want to vaccinate their children, I get a little upset. um, the last year I was very sick, and the only reason I was given for it was a viral infection. I was in the hospital several times. I wasn't able to move very much. Like mobility wise, I was in a wheelchair. Like if it had been time for some sort of vaccine at that point in time, they probably would have told me, "You're too sick, we can't give it to you." So I would have been relying on everyone around me to have their vaccines. Now I get like my flu shot every year in the hopes that I don't get sick, because if I get the flu, like the last time I had the flu, I was in the ER. And not just in the ER, like I was taken there by ambulance. So yeah, like I need people around me to be healthy so that I'm healthy too. So that really upset me. Especially because like I've looked up to her as like a business role model, and I feel like she's been such a good activist for so many different things. And then like when I found out about that, I woke up that morning and I just went like why though? In this day and age when we have so much information that says vaccines are good, why would you choose not to vaccinate your kid? I don't get it. One of the reasons she says is because vaccines are not vegan. Well, a lot of medications are not vegan or cruelty-free. We take them anyway to stay healthy. She would vaccinate her $1,000 Sphinx cats, but not her kid, which makes no sense. And like I have a grandmother who lives in a retirement home, an assisted living residence, and that's the type of place where if one person gets sick, they all get sick. Because not only are they elderly, their immune systems are weakened, but it's such a close living space that it just spreads. And they put everybody on lockdown. So they have to get vaccinated, and it's still, like if one person, if from the outside comes in and they're sick, that's it. So you can imagine a parent decides not to vaccinate their children, and little Billy has the flu, goes in to see grandma, the whole building's going to go on lockdown. And it's not just, oh, it's her decision, it's her baby. No, it affects everyone. Everyone. I saw somebody comment on Georgia Harris's video about this, saying that there were 15,000 cases of measles in Romania because anti-vaccination has gone up. That's ridiculous. But like, what am I going to do? I have so many of her products. Her concealer is the only one that I've found that works for me in terms of lightness that I can get here in this country without having to import it for an expensive fee. In terms of that, I can't do anything, which kind of sucks because of my strong stance. Another reason that a lot of people decide not to vaccinate their kids is autism. Vaccines do not cause autism. This has been disproven over and over and over and over and over again. The one doctor who had linked vaccines to autism had his license taken away. And the studies were disproven. I wish they would take any of those articles off of the internet because they just spread false science, pseudoscience. They do a lot of harm. And let's say they did cause autism, which again, they don't. Why are parents more afraid of having an autistic child than a very, very, very sick child that could die from preventable disease? And believe me, I know that some of you are not going to agree with me on this. But you won't get it unless you have really been very sick, know a family member who is very sick and relies on vaccinations, then maybe you'd get it. So what I want to know is, when I use her products in tutorials, because it's going to happen, what would you like me to do? Would you like me to show them on screen? Would you like me to list them below, or would you just like me to say, I'm using an orange eyeshadow, I'm using a blue eyeshadow? What would you like me to do in that instance? I would like feedback, because I feel like this is an important issue, and I would like to know moving forward what you would like me to do in that situation. So the next topic of interest that I have, in case you didn't stick through, which video was it that I said that I was moving? I can't even remember now. But I said it towards the end of one of my videos, and in case you didn't see it there, or on my Instagram, yep, I'm moving. That's why my background looks quite bereft. It's been a process of, quite a long process of looking at houses, but last night we finally found out that we have a house. We have a house. So the next step will be putting this one up on the market. It's not quite ready yet. There's still some clearing out we have to do for staging purposes. Basically, it just has to look very neat and tidy for when people come through. And luckily, it's not a very far move. It's about 10 minutes or so from where we currently are, which isn't that bad. And in case you don't know who I'm talking about when I say we, I do live with my parents because of my health issues. That's unfortunately not going to change for a while. I would like to be out on my own because of my age, but it can't really happen yet. But they're very supportive of that, and they help. They understand that I need help, and you know, they're good with that. And they basically said that if I need to live with them, you know, indefinitely, I can, but hopefully that's not the case. I was actually kind of thinking that I would probably do a more in-depth video about my health problems because, you know, on YouTube there, and just in general, there are a lot of people with both mental and physical health problems, and it's always good to talk about those. I am very open about it. I don't really have anything to hide in that respect. I feel like it's not anything to be ashamed of. So yeah, I was kind of thinking of putting together a video. Okay, I'm just thinking, like, what do I want to do on my eyes today? Trying not to use Kat Von D eyeshadows today. You'd be surprised how hard it is not to use her palettes when there's so many colors in there that fill gaps in my collection. So again, it's going to be hard. I think that I'm going to use some of my indie shadows. So I actually, oh, I forgot to do my brows. Oh, I can do them after. Yesterday I actually filmed another collab video with a new friend of mine. Her name is Mia, and she has a channel called Mia R Beauty. She's been commenting on my videos for a while now, and it's one of those things where I didn't realize that she had a channel of her own. I was always just like, oh, she's a really kind subscriber who comments on all of my videos. Sometimes I just don't realize that viewers can have channels too, as stupid as that sounds, because I was a viewer for the longest time before having a channel, and I would comment on other people's videos, and I didn't have a channel, so sometimes I just kind of forget and I'm really stupid. But anyway, yeah, we filmed a collaboration, and that's going to be up this Friday, which, what day is that? The 15th? It'll be up on the 15th. I have ordered a little bit more makeup. My birthday is coming up on July 5th, so I ordered a couple of birthday presents for myself and a couple for my parents to give me. Since everything is so busy right now, they don't really have time to shop for me, which is fine. So today I should be receiving the Nude Sticks Nudies Tinted Blur Stick, which is kind of like a tinted stick. You can use it as foundation, you can use it as a tinted primer under foundation, to touch up your foundation. You can use it a bunch of different ways. So that should be coming today, and I can do a review on that for you guys, because there aren't a lot of reviews on it, especially in the lightest shade, which I ordered. And I do generally like Nude Sticks. That's another Canadian company, and I like the idea of having a low coverage product that I can just like draw on, tap it in, and go. Because I'm not a super full coverage person. You guys will know this if you watch me frequently. So it seemed like a good product for me. And I also ordered my very first Juvia's Place palette. I ordered the Dose. I'm terrible. I should have looked it up ahead of time. Anyway, I ordered that palette. It's got some really nice sort of pastel colors. I've been looking for a pastel pink and a sort of like mint green, and it has both of those along with some other colors that are absolutely beautiful. And I think it's going to fit in with my collection really nicely, so can't wait for that to get here. I ordered it off of Beauty Bay, which I've never ordered from before, but I've heard I've heard there are no duty fees to Canada, so knowing me, I'll get duty fees. But I'm really excited to try Juvia's Place because I've heard such awesome things about their palettes. Oh, I love that color. That lid shade is Soul by Clionadh Cosmetics. It's just so unique. I once saw an Instagram post that says, "Are you even indie if you don't duochrome?" It's kind of true though. Indies have such beautiful duochromes. And now they're coming out with multi-chromes. I saw these really cool like multi-chrome liquid eyeliners, but they were $10 US with $15 US shipping. And I went, I'm not the type of person who wants to pay more for shipping than the actual product. So hopefully someday I can get something like that at a cheaper cost. And what am I doing on the outer corner? Am I doing purple? Am I doing green? Oh, am I doing pink? Maybe we'll kind of stick with the greeny, yellowy sort of look going on here. You could always put some pink or purple on the lower lash line. I've been experimenting a bit more with greens lately. And I feel like as long as the green is accompanied by something else, I can work with it. If it's just green on its own, I don't like it as much. On me. Oh yeah, and you guys might be interested to know that I actually received a PR package? I guess you could call it that. There's a company on Instagram that I've been following, they've been following me. It's a Canadian company called Local Boom. And they reached out to me about a month ago and said, we have some lipsticks. Would you like to try a few? And I said, yeah, sure. Their website sells only Canadian brands. And usually the brands are like very natural, sort of locally sourced, organic type of stuff. And so I received a package that had 3 lipsticks, a face mask, a facial toner, an herbal healing salve, and an eyebrow growth treatment. I wasn't expecting all of that, but that's what I got. So they were all Canadian brands. And I wasn't told to make a video about them or anything, but I am, just because here on this channel you know that I am very openly Canadian. And I love to support Canadian businesses and smaller businesses, and if it's both, even better. So I am putting together a video demoing and reviewing all the products, as well as telling you about them and just kind of giving them a little bit of exposure. So just a heads up about that. It will probably be up next week, because by that point I will have tried them for at least 4 weeks, which I feel is a good enough time frame to kind of analyze the products. I didn't want to just like rush in and be like, I received all this stuff, I've barely tried it, but here it is. I'm always very detailed, I'd like to think, and try to give you as much information about the products I try. So And I'll be telling you this in the video as well, but Local Boom is like a really good ethical business. Every time you buy from their website, they donate back to the community, the Canadian community. I have a card that tells you about all the different donations they've made since October 2017, so I'll be going over that in the video. But it's just, it was up my alley in terms of things I'd like to support. It's my first PR, and I wouldn't have accepted it had it not been something I would feel comfortable supporting, but it is, and so I'm very happy about it. I doubt that I'm going to be offered free product often. It was just something I thought was exciting, given the size of my channel especially. Yep, I think purple lower lash line. So because I am moving, there will come a time where I can't post as frequently because, well, there will likely not be a place for me to film. So yeah, just be aware of that. I know you'll understand that. I'm trying to film a lot now. Hopefully I can try and maybe stockpile some shorter videos for you guys. That would be nice if I can, but we'll see. Filming still takes a lot of energy for me because I do have to sit here for quite a while. I'm having trouble deciding whether or not I want a wing or not. Yeah, I think I do. Ooh, I think I want to do black wing and then go over top of it with glitter. Yep. Now this eyeliner, this NYX That's the Point eyeliner in Hella Fine is not kind to me, but I am determined. I'm very determined. It's just one of those things where it's so black and so liquidy that it's not very forgiving. And it bleeds a bit, so that too. My wings are not going to match today. Do they ever really, honestly? Like, it doesn't matter. Bring out the glitter. Oh good, this is going to go over without lifting the black. I was a little worried. You know, sometimes you just have one of those days where you're like, must have glitter. Glitter makes everything better. Nice. I definitely won't purchase a full size of this Too Faced Better Than Sex. It's just not my cup of tea. I just find the formula is too dry and the brush is too scratchy. So even though my lashes look nice afterwards, I just don't. Oh yeah, and it goes under my eyes like a lot. So even though, yeah, it looks nice, it's just not worth it. So I forgot to do my brows. I actually do think that that brow growth treatment has done something. I've been taking photos. You'll see when I make the video about the products I received. But yeah, I do think that there has been a bit of difference for sure. I kind of want to make my brows like super fluffy today. I don't think I want to fill them in too much. I just want them to look real fluff. Yeah, so didn't fill in my brows too much. Oops. I was gonna spoolie my brows with the brush side. That's not going to work. Fluffy brows, fluffy brows. I should put a disclaimer at the front of my videos when it's going to be super long. Well, at least you'll have had 2 shorter videos before this one. shorter. By shorter, I mean under 20 minutes. I can't believe how long some of my videos have been lately. I'm just taking too much time to explain things. If you want me to go back to being less thorough, just let me know. I think that I am very close to hitting pan on this e.l.f. blush, which is in my project Use It Up, because I feel like I can see the shape of the bottom of the pan. Like there are two little raised parts that I can see there. Please let it be so. I've actually been taking this big dense brush that I usually use for foundation because I feel like that gets it onto my face better than a fluffier brush. See? I can immediately see the color, whereas with my other brush it takes forever to get any payoff. Considering I've only had this blush for a little over a year, I'm impressed that I've almost hit pan on it. Especially because it is so hard to use it, and I don't use it every day or anything. Must not have a whole lot of product in it. But again, I have to dig around a lot, so that probably helps use it more too. These Wet n Wild lip liners are really good. And they're only a couple of dollars. They're like $2.99 or $3.99 here in Canada, so even less in the US. There, I'm finally done. This lip gloss smells like bubblegum. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. I post Mondays and Fridays here on this channel, usually in the afternoon Eastern time. And I hope you enjoyed this video and hope to see you next time. Bye guys!